Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome again to Jesse Irae. Unless you are the first time here, so just welcome. Yeah. Anyway, I went to the blown up chapel and as I was looking for a hallway that wasn't completely devastated by the early explosion, I ran into her. What's with the clothes? What was she doing here? Say what? She was panting slightly. It seemed she'd been looking for me. Her face was as expressionless as always, but I could spot sweat on her banks and forehead. I can see your belly. No words came to mind right away. The fact that she'd burst right out of the room next to me was indeed a part of what had caused me speechless. My speechless surprise, basically, but more than anything. Exactly. I was taken back to see her wearing a robe or a cape or something very revealing in a case. Sorry, impossible. That was impossible. That was so, again, weird that I basically said the thing that was written, kind of. At least part of it. That was an impossible request, but this wasn't the time to be talking about stuff like that. I did everything I could to ignore her outfit and focus. Exactly. I didn't have a clue what was going on. Himuro considered me for a long moment and then bluntly spoke. Not happening! Huh? I had no immediate response for her unexpected answer. Dude. No one cares. I mean, we don't care. I don't care. Yes! I sound nailed by him. She must have meant Father Truffaut. Well, whatever. Exactly. That doesn't matter. That's not going to happen. Exactly. Defeating Valeria Trifa was my job. I was grateful for Kasumi and Himuro's things, but I had doubted they had a way to stop him. Yeah. However, as expected, Himuro kept quiet and only glared back at me. I didn't want to get into a fight with her here, so I sighed and decided to stop pursuing this threat. You don't right, I had a good idea of the situation from the way she talked. For this wasn't the time to act all carefree. I was not confident I could still avoid the worst case scenario at least. Well, Trevor was probably lying in wait for me somewhere here. There was no fear of him running off to the 8th swastika and he'd keep Kasumi and Himuro safe until it was opened. To him, killing me here would be a waste of swastika, but the last one was at the hospital. He could simply cause a massacre there, not to mention he still had Sakura's backup. He had no need to rush. In fact, getting rid of any obstacles now would make things that much easier for him. It wouldn't be easy, but I was glad he'd gone with that choice. If I beat him here, everything would be over. It was as simple as that. And just as I began to wonder where he could be hiding. No. Himuro called out to me from behind. Whatever. I have no desire for that. So? Nope. Yeah, I remembered. That was when I fought Spinner, and now that I thought about it, Kasumi was also kidnapped that day too.
確か、藤井君みたいなやつは早死にするとか言いながら怒ってた。
Well, now that I think about it, sounds like Joestars. The guys of Joestar family. Anyway.
結構本気で怒ってた。
Okay. Didn't look like that.
で、神父さんを探してたんだっけ？
それはまあ、そうなんだけど。
そのことが何か？
何かって。君、頭大丈夫？
Yes. Well, she planned on out at me.
言うことそれしかないの？
Yes.
ないのって、他に何があるんですか？
本気？
Yes.
俺は先輩が何言ってるのかわかんないよ。
じゃあそれからあとは？次に会ったの学校だよね。
そうですね。あん時も霞救出作戦で、あいつは桃のお姫様かって話ですよ。まあ、何度もさらわれてる俺も大概アホですけど。
Good one.
それが何か？
だから、今の話の前と後じゃ、君の中で私の、なんていうか、印象変わったでしょ？
No?
そのことについて、何もないの？
ないですね。っていうか印象だって変わってない。
Did see that coming, huh? I thought to reply back without missing a beat. Honestly, this was getting irritating.
先輩、俺に何を言ってほしいんですか？
え？
こっちの気持ちなら、もう言ったと思いますけど。
In hindsight, that was a really embarrassing thing to say, so I didn't want to repeat it over and over. Himura wasn't seriously going to force me to say it again, was she?
先輩は、俺の大事な人ですよ。それでいいじゃないですか。
I couldn't replicate the mood from back then, so I just looked away as I said it.
現に今も、俺の心配をしてくれてるし。
There was no point even bothering to check whether she was on my side. And as such, there was no need to waste breath on asking.
第一、こんなことになる前に、例えば、街から出て行けとか言われたとしても、意味わかんないから聞かなかったと思う。誰が想像できるって言うんですか？たった2、3週間でこんな展開。先輩だって、実際に始まらなきゃ信じられなかったでしょ？それが当たり前だし、別におかしくない。
Yeah. All I cared about was that she was safe. The rest we could turn into a funny story with reminiscent over a decade later. If I said that.
綾瀬さんと同じようなこと言うんだね。
Say what? When? When did that happen? Why do I not remember that?
嬉しいけど、私が話したがってるとは思わないの？
Maybe.
ううん。聞いて欲しがってるとか、そんな風には。
Is that so? Sorry. She grabbed my sleeve and looked at me with upturned eyes.
だいたい、君の言ってる通りなんだけど。私は、何も教えられなかった代わりに、何も知ろうとしなかったんだよ。
Anyway, isn't that kind of weird that you have, I mean, I noticed it in visual novels, in mangas, in anime, but why the hell do we see eyebrows through the hair if the hair is so thick? I mean, I understand where there is no hair you can see eyebrows, but why the hell do we see eyebrows through the hair? Himura starts talking about everything that had happened until then.
リザも、あの人も、具体的に何かを言ってきたことはないよ。だけど変な話でね。大きくなると、勝手にいろいろ分かってくるの。多分、所長が始まった頃からだと思う。
That should have been a joyous topic. A topic of the process where the body matured to the stage where it could conceive and bear new life. Perhaps it was something instinctive. No matter what kind of animal you were, you picked up on that knowledge, naturally without being told by anyone. Humans were no exception, even if they were shut out from all information about modern society. Their three great desires and animal instincts were still active, commands imprinted in genes, if you will. But in Timur's case, there was something else mixed in all that. The Lebensborn Institute, the Ubermensch Project. I had that information too now. The Holy Virgin who would give birth to Reina. The swastika was her womb. Are you shitting me?
思春期っぽい妄想だろうなって、最初は思ってたんだけどね。
Himura said that with self-derision in her voice.
よく見ると、現実にもおかしなことがいっぱいあるの。例えばリザ、全然老けないんだもん。例えば神父様、全然変わってないんだもん。いつも会ってたリザの変化は分かりにくいって、そういう解釈もできたけど、これはさすがにおかしすぎるよね。あの人、何歳に見える？
32. I'd wondered that myself when I first met him.
30歳かそこらにしか見えないよね。
I said it. Yet he was Himura's godfather. That status didn't match up with his age.
前に藤井くんたちがここへ来たじゃない。あの時私、彼を見て寒気がしたよ。もしかして。
Could it be that my delusions were actually true? For not quite of the same nature, I felt like a similar kind of fear when I was being run around by those dreams of the guillotine at the time. That moment where the fence between reality and unreality became vague. I was lost in a position where I didn't know which side I was on anymore. It was as if the ground had suddenly collapsed under me one day. I understood quite well. Too well. Unlike me, who still had Kasumi, Shiro and Mari by my side, this girl had been shivering in fear, stuck in this place that had been growing more and more into a lair of demons with every passing day.
君や綾瀬さんと仲良くなったのは、どういうことなんだろうね。
Normal way. Hi, I'm Ren. This is Ayase. What's your name? I'm Rhea. Let's be friends. Yeah!
もともとこんな性格だし、漠然と不安もあったし、友達は作らない方がいいっていうか、どうせできないと思ってたよ。自分は死んじゃうし、他もみんな死んじゃうから、一人でいようって。なんか痛い子みたいだけど。結構本気でそう考えてたし、そんな風にしてきたんだよ。でもどうして私は君らと仲良くなったんだろう。なれたんだろう。綾瀬さんは素敵な偶然だって言ってくれたし、私もそう思いたいけど。ねえ、これは本当に私の感情？私が自分で選んだことかな？
Yes?
藤井くんは私のどこが好き？
Everything. I think.
私は藤井くんのどこが好き？
Okay, how would I know that?
そんなことを考えちゃうよ。ごめんね、この非常時に。
いえ。
Didn't find it bother at all. The weight she was carrying on those fragile shoulders was just too heavy. She hit me with her fierce and anxious gaze head on, so I'd have liked nothing better than to elevate as many of them as I could. Even if I might have not looked as presentable, with those moderately fragile shoulders and gentle features that got me being constantly mistaken for a girl.
まあ、なんていうか、女の人に頼られると、実力 120% 発揮するのが男の特殊能力なんで。
True story. It really is true. Well, maybe depends on the girl, but yeah, it's true. And that went up to about 200% when it was a pretty girl asking. Yeah, that's true as well.
好きな子だったら？
300% くらいかな。
pretty much, yeah. Maybe even more.
じゃあ私は
Uh-oh.
250くらいかと。
惜しいとこなんだね。
Thought she sounded a bit disappointed Himuro was smiling. It then hit me that I hadn't seen her smile in ages. That thought alone filled me with strength.
私、藤井くんのこと、好きだよ。
Oh shit. Himuro looked at me with an earnest gaze as she spoke.
どういう好きかは、まあ君の想像に任せるとして。
Whew. Maybe that's good.
これは、私にとって大事な気持ち。これが本当に自分だけのものなんだって、胸を張りたいし証明したい。だから君には来てほしくなかったんだけど、来ちゃったものはしょうがないよね。藤井くん、案内するから、私も連れて行って。
Woo! Finally! Careful people, she would take me to fight against Valeria Trifa.
でも、
ダメだって言ったら、ここで君のこと、めちゃくちゃに犯しちゃうから。
Okay.
脱ぎやすいんだよね。この服。
Yeah, I can imagine that, you know. I wouldn't say it will be hard to take all of that off. I mean, you can clearly say that. I mean, you just get rid of that string and boom, it's done. I bet it's like that. I mean, how different would it be? I wouldn't mind. She grabbed the hem of her skirt like a flasher and glared at me.
犯すってあんた。
Girls shouldn't say stuff like that.
私にそういうことされたら、藤井くん困るでしょ？綾瀬さん怒っちゃうよ。めんどくさいよ。修羅場決定だよ。
Used to that already.
だから私も一緒に行く。いいよね。
Okay. Let's go. For the thought of actually staying? Well, maybe we shouldn't allow her to lead us there. Alright, Father Riva had no intent of harming her, so she probably wouldn't be in danger so long as she didn't get caught up in the fight, but...
ダメだよ、先輩。来ない方がいい。
She shouldn't have to see me fight Father Riva. It probably wouldn't be a pretty picture. I know how she felt about him, but regardless of the circumstances, he was like a father to her. There was no way she could watch me kill him and feel nothing. Or the other way around, right? And besides...
俺、Kasumiの親父も殺してるんですよ。
The biggest secret there was, one and only Shiro and I knew about. But several members of the Obsidian table seemed to have found it out somehow, that I had killed my surrogate father, that I was a murderer. I'd been told something similar when I first saw Mari at the museum. Murderer! Maybe they could sense the scent of death on me. Mari had driven her parents to death by madness and execution. And... what? No, it wasn't Mari there. And Wilhelm and Rusalka had lived violent lives themselves. Then there was Sakurai. She had her dead brother, sister Lisa lost her son. It was likely the majority of the people involved in this incident either killed or lost family.
だから、もう嫌だ。
I couldn't avoid the fight with Father Shifa. I knew persuasion wouldn't work on him. So I would end up taking life of father of a girl I cared about not once but twice.
そんなところ見られたくない。
I squeezed those words out.
Kasumiに話すべきなのか、ずっと黙ってるべきなのか、どっちにしろ問題があって、未だに答えが決められない。怖いんですよ。
それで、
Himuro looked up at me and spoke in a sour voice.
君はまた、私に黙ってあの人を殺すの？
Well, it's not really a secret, no?
何も教えないで、見せないで、全部一人で抱え込もうとするの？
そんなんじゃ、ないですよ。
If I told Kasumi the truth, she might be hurt, and it undoubtedly would be painful for Himuro if I was to show her my fight with the priest. I definitely felt that way, but what was the actual truth of the matter?
俺はただ、結局のところ嫌われたくないだけなんだと思う。
I didn't want the girl I loved to hit me. It was a coward's way of thinking.
だから、そういうかっこいいもんじゃないですよ。
じゃあ、それでもいいから。
Eh? She cupped my face in her hands and quietly spoke.
今からはかっこよくなってよ。隠さないで。逃げないで。何でも一人でやろうとしないで。
What are you talking about? It's cooler when you do something by yourself. When it comes to fights.
藤井くんの悪いところは、10個くらい簡単に言えるよ。
Yeah, I know that, okay? He doesn't know, but I know about that already.
君のそういうところ、頭にくるけど、可愛いとも思うし。
Thanks. Is what he would say, right?
怒らないんだね。
そういう状況でもないでしょ。
I felt like I was being wrapped in a mother's embrace. It was kind of embarrassing, but he more willing to go.
私だってね、現実はこの目で受け止めたいの。今までずっといい加減にしてきたし。変な格好のつけ方しないでよ。意地張ってる藤井くんより、こうやってちゃんと話してくれる君の方がいい。だから、ね。決着をつけるんでしょ？だったら全部、君の全部を清算しなきゃダメ。私もそうするし、綾瀬さんもそうしようとしてる。けじめつけるんだって言ってたよ。
かすみが？
うん。強いよね、あの子。
Well, maybe. A little bit? Himura smiled softly, like a girl boasting about her little sister.
私も君もユサくんも、ちょっと破滅的なんだよ、性格が。けど彼女だけは、すごく前向きでプラス思考。まあ、そのせいで、私たちの中じゃ仲間外れになりがちだけど。
True.
あの子みたいなのが、きっと一番強い。太陽っぽいよね。
Cosmo sunlight, a symbol of my day-to-day life. A sun I didn't want to lose, one I couldn't live without.
清掃13騎士団国園卓第6位。増年金と。
Say what?
私の方が正当だけど、私のじゃダメなの。
You are a part of it, actually? We're not the son of Reinhardt's battlefields, but the one that illuminated the path to our day-to-day lives. Kasumi might have been inferior goods to those bastards, but she was just right for us. She was exactly what we needed. That's why I couldn't lose her.
綾瀬さんと一緒にいたいなら、綾瀬さんにふさわしくなりなさい。でないと、二人の交際なんか認めないから。
I couldn't help smiling at the way she put it.
何笑ってるの？
Why not?
すみません。小獣とですね、先輩。
True.
当然でしょ。私の妹なんだもん。
全然似てないですけどね。
まあ、私の方が美人だけどね。
Well, you are pretty, but are you prettier? I believe that was what people call the mother of minion.
わかりましたよ。
I don't and still my resolve.
全部清算する気でいきます。あいつにふさわしい男をヘノになるよう頑張りますよ。
うん。ちゃんと見てるから、頑張って。
Thanks. Now that I'd come to this, there was nothing. No turning back. I would end everything right here tonight. There, I would finally return to my sunny world. I swore to that oath, and let him guide me to the church's underground. Kasumi, I also thought. She was trying to find what it was she could do even at the very last moment. She was not arrogant in any way. She didn't think she could do anything all that over-ambitious, nor did she come up with any ideas of the like. For the better or the worse, she knew fully well how average she was. But neither was she type to spirit. She considered all realistic solutions that she could reasonably carry off in this situation. In a way, her method could have been labeled a compromise. She would first imagine a conclusion she lacked, then predict any obstacles she would need to overcome and make that a reality. Was it feasible or not? If it was, what about the odds of success? She wasn't exactly great at theoretical thinking, but she nonetheless did her best with utmost earnestness. The most desirable result would mean no one dying at all, of course, for things get resolved peacefully without conflict. But she knew that was most likely impossible. After all, several people had already died to even reach this stage. But even so, Kasumi wanted to keep the list of casualties from growing any longer. Others may had called her naive and stupid for that, but she didn't believe that not acting towards the best conceivable conclusion was the right way to go. So even though that prior conversation had not been the most intelligent course of action, she had still chosen to do it. She never believed she could persuade Valeria Trifa. She was never an eloquent speaker to begin with, and her opinions and tenets were probably little but nonsense to the priest. Her few days were no match to the wave of 6 years he bore, and even if that was not the case, changing another mind with words was already a nigh impossible feat in human society. How could she even entertain that, when she couldn't even change the mind of a boy she saw almost every day? But for Kasumi had no illusions of conveniently changing someone's convictions and views. She wondered if it was perhaps possible to reach, if only slightly, into their heart. She wondered if it could perhaps in some way end up influencing the outcome if the absolute worst really came to pass. It was wishful thinking, but Kasumi didn't give up on that possibility, and no one would be in the worst of trying at this point. What the hell? Then there was her current plight. She couldn't speak or move, and to an outsider it might have looked like she was out cold, but she was actually very much conscious and could both see and hear. She didn't understand how it was possible, and so she decided not to think about it. She had more important matters to consider anyway. Ren was on his way. He'd come after her, so she was fretting once again about what she should do. Regardless of how things turned out, it would not be a happy ending. What? God damn it! She didn't want Ren to die. She couldn't bear the thought of it, and she didn't want to see him get hurt either. But in that case, how was she to win? Let Valeria Trifalai? Why not? What is wrong with you, girl? She muttered that in a voiceless whisper. She didn't want to force Ren to kill someone. Well... yeah, besides he was up against the man who was like Ra's father, so she couldn't let him... never! Thus she had to stop Father Trifa somehow. She knew the idea was far beyond the capabilities of someone like her. His shell was harder than iron. If there was something that could break through those curtains and reach him, it would be... Stop! She pondered what could reach his heart. She had a feeling she was the only one who could. For why she didn't know, it defies reason, but she couldn't help inexplicably believing in that baseless assumption. That fact was what had led her here. There was no other way for her to put things back in their place and atone. So she had to hurry and figure out just what it was exactly. Good! The doors opened, revealing her rather impatient white knight. He looked up at her with a seriously desperate look on his face. She was happy, but she wanted to apologize. She was mad, but also sad. She was grateful he'd worried about her, sorry she'd caused trouble for him. But why couldn't he have just stayed put and waited? It pained her to see Ren getting hurt. Yeah, she was in pain. Well, anyone would be in pain if you were freaking chained. It felt like the contractions of labor. Oh, god damn it, I have a very bad feeling about that. She figured she'd be going through this sort of experience someday, but...
ようこそ。お待ちしていましたよ、藤井さん。
But she'd always want to give birth to a child in the normal way, between her and the man she loved. Not how her great-grandmother was forced to.
かすみを返せよ。
She'd still wish to fulfill the happy dream, so she prayed with all her heart for him to live.
できぬと言ったら？
許さない。
She didn't want him to say that when he was shedding tears inside.
では、殺し合うと。
ああ、そこをどけ。
She didn't want to force Ren to wear that cross again. She had to fulfill her goal to coming to the church as soon as possible. At this rate, she would just end up nothing but an idling fool.
そんなのは。
She didn't want that. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling. I really have a bad
先
feeling.
輩は下がっててください。
I said in low voice to urge the girl behind me to stop. I didn't know just how powerful Father Shiva was, but he was clearly not the one to be taken lightly. I need to face him with my full strength.
彼に従いなさい、テレジア。あまり近づきすぎると危険ですよ。
先輩、早く。
わかったよ。
I could tell Shinle now everything was ready to go. All I had left to do was defeat the priest. I hadn't completely figured out how I was going to do that, but I knew for sure that I'd be killed if I wasn't fully resolved. I had to rid myself of all worldly thoughts.
マリ。
I called out to my right arm, forming my blade. Mari hadn't shown herself to me in a while, but I could never forget her. I'd probably need to settle things with her somehow once this was over. I took up a fighting stance, but Father Shiva just kept standing there, completely unarmed. Was he that confident?
どうしたんだよ。あんたの武器は見せないのか。
No, it was more than that. I couldn't sense any intent to find or kill from him. Wilkhead, Rusaka, Sakura, and Kane had been absolutely brimming with those, so this had me taken aback. It looked like he had no motivation whatsoever. However,
どうぞ。気にせず参られるがよろしい。別にあなたを甘く見ているわけではありません。まあ、だからといって警戒もしていませんがね。不気味すぎて最初の一歩が踏み出せませんか。では。
Father Shiva closed the gap between us with a single, almost casual step. He then continued casually as though we were having a friendly chat at a cafe.
さあ、この首、見事切り落としてみせなさい。これが最初で最後です。綾瀬さんにやり方は教わったのでしょう。
Those words lowered the firing hammer within me.
手加減など無用。
I didn't need to hesitate.
全身全霊。
All my strength.
あなたにとって最強の一撃を受けましょう。
At that precise moment, I swung my guillotine.
それをもって強くけなげな少女への敬意とする。
My blade connected with his bird's neck, however.
これが現実だ。あなたに生産杯は壊せない。
What the hell was going on? Father Shiva was totally defenseless, and I hate him kind of how?
私の選択は間違っていなかった。やはり誰にもハイドリ秘境は倒せない。
He was uninjured, completely unharmed. I couldn't cut a single tear into his skin.
バカな。
I hadn't hesitated at all, and the guillotine buried Guillotine was undoubtedly among the sharpest things in the universe. So what was this bullshit? I'd seen that phenomenon unfold before me with my own eyes, yet I could only think of it as something out of a nightmare.
そんなに不思議ですか？
I didn't even describe it. Even if it hadn't been a killing blow. A clean head like that should have left at least a scratch. This was just like back then.
我々と初めて交戦した時のことでも思い出しましたか？ええ、そうですね。戦いにおいて最も恐るべき事態とは、己の技が何一つとして効かぬということ。火器では殺せぬ。刃物も効かぬ。物理を超越した耐久力。我々が世界の敵と呼ばれながらも、この60年闇に存在できた理由はこれだ。おのおのが一にしてレギオン。黒煙卓の戦機を害せる対人武器など存在しない。
Even the most efficient of guns and blades cannot produce a single kill with a single attack. It's never against a being that consists of thousands of souls is equivalent to trying to break a rampart with a needle. I knew that, I already did, but still. I was supposed to be operating according to the rules and I think...
わかりませんかね。至極単純な話なのだが。
The next moment, my entire vision was filled with an approaching fist. I immediately guarded and managed to deflect the artless backhand shove down in the same manner one would swat a fly. Bewildered by the unbelievable turn of events, I put some distance between us, but Father Shiva did not pursue.
例えば、炭素というものがある。身近なところでは鉛筆の芯だ。ひどく脆い。 かし、ダイヤモンドも同じ炭素でできている。こ
True.
の違いは何か。
It was how fused they were. In other words, even if they had the same mass, the more condensed one was harder. Even a piece of paper could become as hard as stone if crushed to its almost limits.
そうか。
It was indeed a simple concept, so simple that I could form no objection to his reasoning. This man, Valtriva, was merely
魂の量。
that mass surrounding his body. His vessel was farther than any other I'd faced up until this point.
しかり、城壁を崩せない針も、山を崩せない波状椎も、規模が違うだけで本質は同じだ。
Alright, I don't want to point that out, but I want to point that out actually. Red might not be a mass of souls, but the guillotine, his guillotine should be.
あなたに私は壊せない。
And then the man who had absolute confidence in his endurance took to the offensive. His chop was slow, but powerful. My blade danced in the air like a flash of light, looking like it would chop off his wrist, but he took no damage yet again. We connected with each other, a bizarre clash of blade against her bare hand. But it ends there.
運が良いですよ、藤井さん。ハイドリヒ教に出会わず追われることを神に感謝するべきだ。
Folk were exchanging blows, Father Shiva spoke in dispassionate voice.
私を害せない程度の技量で、彼の前に立てば瞬時に破壊されるだけです。
Reinhard Hedrick, the leader of the Obsidian Round Table, whom I'd seen once before. His menace and paranormality did indeed leave deep scars on my heart.
怖かったでしょう。狂いそうになったでしょう。魂まで焼き尽くされると感じたでしょう。あれはただ、いるだけで周囲の世界を歪ませる異物だ。およそ、あらゆる意味で人たるものの範疇に入らない。
I recalled Sakurai, who was cursed by that very same figure. Even I was scared of Reinhardt. However,
それが
had nothing to do with what was happening right now.
どうしたってんだよ。
I struck to the side with an angry roar, kicked off the wall and charged the priest. If he had external defense, then there was no point in worrying up attack spots. In other words, I focused on the one point. I chipped it until I could shove a needle down his throat. It went without saying that I was targeting a spot where my blade's keen strikes manifested the most, his neck. I flew the strike with all my power, but I expected I couldn't hurt him at all. That was fine, I didn't care. If one strike didn't work, I'd just keep attacking until it would. My continuous chain of attacks all hit the same spot accurately, not a single meter off. I kept pounding like a nail with a hammer. And yet...
ですから言ったでしょう。私を壊せないならハイドリヒ教も壊せない。いや、そもそも、あの方を壊せるものなど天地に存在しないのだ。
Father Shiva slowly raised his hand overhead as if to swat an annoying fly. He then brought his fist down. I bent my head backwards to dodge, getting a scrap on the tip of my nose for the trouble, and swooped for his tall figure's proportionately long arm. I reflexively caught his elbow in a double arm lock, but it didn't budge an inch, as if it were made of steel. He then cast me aside like a heap of wooden scraps. Outside, on top of the stairs? That's long. Well, never mind. The chambered obsidian round table. This deepest level of the church was likely used as their headquarters. I considered how I could break out of my current plight as I hung from the wall I had slammed into, overlooking the panoramic view. The priest's entrance was on a level far beyond me. Even if I kept attacking the same spot over and over again, he wasn't a statue. He would move, fight back, and retaliate. Judging from his attacks, his abilities in single combat were about on the same level as Sakurai, and certainly below Wilhelm. Still, it was incredibly difficult to mount on offense against an opponent with no need to protect himself. I couldn't just keep focusing on one point forever, as he would fight back. I had no choice but to up the number of my attacks. I would land 1,000 strikes in the time it took Father Trifa to land 10. In other words, the trump card that beats Rosalcan Kane, a creation figment. I would manifest it right here and now, one more time, and master it. That was my only choice, but...
無駄ですよ。何をする気かは知りませんがね。
Father Trifa declared that nothing I tried would work on him, with unchanging serenity.
というよりは、おそらく使えないでしょう。想像以上の異界に達するならば、現実を無視する信仰がいる。マレウスのものを見ましたか？レオンハルトは、ベイ注意は、あれらはすなわち、己の誓い、己の常識、己の価値観をもって普遍的日常世界を侵食する祈りです。昼間に夜が生じる。影に触れたら縛られる。己が肉体を炎と化す。などということは常識的にありえない。と詰まるところ、物分かりがいいとダメなのですよ。さながら寝所で思いを馳せる少年の妄想。超常的な己を狂気のごとく願い信じる非現実への渇望。
But he does have that.
日常への帰還を至上目的としているあなたはその真逆だ。資料分別のある頭が邪魔をして奇跡の門を開けない。リザのようにシュピーネのように形成でいるのが限界でしょう。
You're sure about that? That was something I never considered up till he pointed it out.
まさか
Don't believe him, man! I couldn't attain Beria as I was.
そんなこと。
I want to deny it, but his logic made sense. So, how long had been since I had stopped seeing Mari and hearing her voice? What had I been doing to her during that time? So I, who had been facing Mari, was practically that definition of extraordinary, couldn't attain a creation figment?
違う。
That couldn't be. I refused to accept it. I fiercely resumed my assault on Father Shiva, hoping to raise the anxiety welling up within me.
別に恥じることはないでしょう。むしろ誇るべきだ。己は強靭にあらずと。凡庸な世界を愛し、そこに身を置くことを幸せとする。実に結構な価値観と思いますがね。
黙れ。
I swooped my blade down for roar, but as always, it left not a single scratch on the priest.
集団の最大派閥に属すること。それを苦しく願う者もいるというのに。
But not all of them.
何を焦る？何が不満だ？ここで私を倒すことこそ、むしろ常軌を逸している。その先にあなたの日常があるとでも？そこに広がるのは、グラズヘイム。終わらない殺戮の地平があるだけだ。人として、凡夫として、愛すべき花と死の運命を共にする。その方がはるかに気が利いているというものでしょう。
Father Shiva's words weren't making sense. All I understood was that my attack still had no effect on him. God damn, why? How many souls did it take to build up that bullshit armor? Father Shiva didn't let the moment where my attacks grew monotonous pass and slapped my cheek, knocking my brain back and forth. I spat out a bloody shattered tooth. His next hit was to my solar plexus. And then my heart. My wrist broke, my skin ripped, and my auras creaked. I was knocked into the wall again with a new wave of pain now assaulting my back. But even so...
折れませんか。なるほど。そういうところだけは普通と言えぬようですね。
お前は。
For choking bloody vomit, I got up on my knees and glared at my foe. Valeria Trifa.
お前は一体何なんだ。
He crossed the line of substituting Sun King despite acting as the Obsidian Table's temporal leader. It was clear from his speech and conduct that he did not desire for Reinhardt's return. Then what was he thinking? What did he want? Why was he doing that?
何が願いだ。
Whether it was being made immortal or wishing to the dead back to life, those were wishes that should have been accomplished by the grace of Reinhardt's return. And if he was rather avoiding golden blessing itself, if distancing himself from it was his goal, then he never should have opened any of the swastikas to begin with. Yet he let the charge towards making the ritual come to pass. And the 11th hour chose Kasumi and the inferior Sun gained as the womb for its completion. It just didn't make any sense at all. None of his actions had any logic behind them. Since I wouldn't even entertain the notion of losing Kasumi, there was no way I could ever see eye to eye with this bastard. But the future he was aiming for didn't make a lick of sense no matter how I looked at it.
わからないのは、あなた方がそもそも勘違いをしているからだ。
His narrow eyes fixed on Himura, watching over us without a word, then shifted to the crucified Kasumi.
ハイドリ秘境を呼び戻す黄金連星。不死創造の原則は、ありていに言うなら、殺せば殺すほどというやつです。不死身になりたいなら、それに見合った数の魂で補強していただく。今現在の我々が有している魂は、あくまでも燃料であり鎧。自己本人の魂は単一のままであり、人の限界領域を突破できない。
Live. Why are you not saying anything, man? Live 100 years and you will find yourself wishing for death. Steered on by self-destructive impulses, you will lose the ability to compose some thought. It is an apoptosis of the soul. Okay. And if you excel sorcery, it will merely delay the manifestation of those impulses for 200 or 300 years at best.
マレウスがあれで軽率なのも、ベイが自己申請にこだわるのも、そして私がこんな真似をしているのも、もしかしたらそうした自傷行為なのかもしれない。
Maybe.
故にそこから逃れるため、己が魂を揺るぎない強度に変える。これが黄金。まずはその1。そしてその2は
死者蘇生。
That was what he meant by the size of the sacrifice. A bargain that could never be carried out on even scales.
一人生き返らせるのに数千人殺せと言われています。一見でたらめに見えますが、価値という質量で見るならこれは10日交換だ。
For example, let's pretend human lives were money. The souls of your loved ones might have amounted for fortune to you, while strangers hardly substitute the pocket change. That was just how human nature was. So to get back the 100 million yen you dropped, you'd have to scrap together 100,000 yen notes. That was how it worked. I could understand that, however.
この2つの黄金、あなたはおかしいと思いませんか？
Father Trevor looked down me, sighed as for to ask why no one else understood, and continued.
その1もその2も捧げた代わりにいただけるものはどこから来る？千の魂を凝縮すれば何か化学変化でも起きて全く新しい命が生まれるのですか？妻なり夫なり恋人なり子供なり、そして自分自身なり、そうしたものが都合よく想像されると。バカな。
He spat out those words with a scornful laugh, his mind right and miserable. He confessed the ominous truth.
奇跡の大元は黄金たるハイドリ秘境のうちにある。すなわち不死を望めば吸収され、蘇生を望んでも吸収される。そこで彼の分身奴隷となって終わらない戦争に駆り出されるまま永劫に解放されない。
So is your goal to change that?
これを我々はバルハラという無限の死者であふれ返り、無限に膨れ上がっていく修羅の世界だ。
Good to love getting interacted, right? Anyway. That is the nature of the Lord Hydra creation figment, that which we call the castle. The transmutation of gold, in short, amounts to... Wait. Why do I not have the voiceover again? To conducting, transmutation of gold, in short, amount of conducting its endless rebirth cycle outside its walls. Though perhaps it would be more apt to say it meant emanating the castle itself to the outside. Its weight in entire world would become hell in the instant that transpired.
彼は解き放たれたが最後、破壊の君たる業に従い、全てを飲み込み始めるでしょう。善は子、子は善。世界が彼で、彼が世界だ。そしてそこに住まう我々は皆ハイドリ秘境の一部になる。奴隷としてね。
But he was around before and that never happened, right?
正直、冗談ではない話だ。
It was far beyond the level of a joke. If what he was saying was true, then the vague fear and anxious Sakura felt was all too well founded.
これに気づいていたのは、私とヒルヒ愛禅教くらいでしょう。今にして思えば、彼女とたもとを分かつ羽目になったのが残念でならない。
Alright. By mistake, I clicked twice and stopped recording and moved on. Anyway, feel free to read out what's over here. And we can continue.
まあ、もしかしたらベイあたりも彼らと同じ感性なのかもしれませんがね。故に私は決断したのだ。
Yes. And that is? Father Trevor walked up to me with a blank smile, lifted me up by the nape of my neck, and continued in a sinister voice.
バルハラの流出など起こすわけにはいかぬでしょう。
He slammed my head in the floor. Again, again, again.
とはいえ、私にも望みがある。かつてハイドリ秘境に奪われたものを取り返したい。ではどうするか。すでに城の一部と化している10の花、彼らを救い出さねばならない。
Eh? The floor cracked, collapsed, and sent fissures running through the obsidian table. It was almost as though he preferred destroying this room over causing me damage. His voice sounded as though it was coming from a broken radio.
城を招き寄せる穴、スワスチカという参道と増年キントという母体。これが完全ではいけない。出産が滞りなく進んでしまえば地獄の産声が流れ出す。そうなってはもう誰にも止められない。だから彼女だ。
Kasumi, the incomplete Sonumkind. She was not a vessel to bear the castle. She was my childhood friend, a woman most precious to me.
死産。いいえ、胎児の血がほんの一滴ほど滴り落ちる程度でよい。それで私の願いは叶う。まあその代わりシャンバラのスワスチカに捧げられた全ての魂が持っていかれることになりますが、心配はいりませんよ。何度も同じことをしてあげましょう。私は償い続ける罪人だ。己が罪を忘れはしなし、二度と逃げたりしないと誓った。逃げてはダメだ。逃げてはダメだ。逃げてはダメなんですよ、本当に。それは良くない。良くないことが逃げた先には待っている。だから私はこの罪から目をそらさない。未来永劫永遠に繰り返しますよ。繰り返しますよ。繰り返しますよ。繰り返しますよ。
I mean, I understand, but you're going crazy.
殺して生き返らせ、殺して生き返らせ、殺して生き返らせて殺す奪い取り戻して繰り返す。作って壊して作って壊して永遠と同じことを作ったり壊したりしかし途中で飽きたらどうするんですかね。まだ最初の1回目なのに大変ですよ。全くこれは
Wow.
創造と破壊、略奪と贈与、生と死の繰り返しなのですよ。それが私の歩むと誓った聖堂なれば。これはね、 神への道に通じるとは思えませんかね。私は無限に奪って無限に与える。どこかの誰かと全く同じではないですか。私はあの方に届きますかね。彼の代行として責務を果たしていると言えますよね。じいさん、それでも副首領閣下は私のことをよこしまなる聖者などと呼ぶのですか。これほど神に準じているこの私を、カール・クラフトは偽りの光だというのですかね。
He slammed my head in the floor for I don't know which time. My vision had grown red and static flooded my ears. My skull felt like it was about to crash under the maddened priest's grip. Yet.
ねえ藤井さん、だから心配いりませんよ。たとえここであなたが死んでも、またスワスチカを作って生き返らせてあげますから。私はもう一人の黄金として完全な鉄理の上にあるでしょう。
But the river laughed at his bow. He declared his reasoning to be perfect. Yet his entire existence revolved around his fear and hatred of Reinhardt. It was nothing but a massive contradiction of admiration and yearning. Father Trifa was attempting to avoid the emanation of Valhalla while also trying to create a knockoff version of it. All of it was borrowed, not a single hint of originality within. This guy was merely... That one sentence finally sent his incessant pummeling on me to a halt. Father Trifa considered me with an expressionless look on his face.
今、何と言いました？
You are a fake.
聞こえなかったのかよ。
You'd expect the bastard would have escaped hearing loss as he did aging. I could see his pupils at the distance, as they were unstable, shifting from red to black and gold.
お前は単にラインハルトのなり損ないじゃねえか。
An imitator, the word suited him perfectly.
桜井はゴミを集めても宝石にはならないって言ってたよ。
She'd said that would be an insult to the lives of the ones she loved.
先輩はあんたを見届けるって言ってたよ。
That was why she was still here, not looking away from a thing.
かすみはけじめをつけるって。
All of them girls that hadn't lived even half of the bastard's age, yet they valiantly stood and struggled against dark fate with their own ideas in their hearts.
お前は何を都合よく壊れてんだよ、腰抜け。
I don't know what happened in his past. Not a thing about the despair, tragedy, and regrets he'd faced. But there was one thing I did know. One thing I could say for sure.
お前は負けたんだ。
He'd been crushed by his past.
人のせいにするなよ。
Father Shiva threw me with all his might as soon as I finished. I leaned on the table I'd been thrown to, refusing to be beaten. I saw the weak priest looking at me as though he was staring at something inexplicably mysterious.
あなたは何を言っているのだ。
He sounded befuddled, bewildered, and genuinely uncomprehending.
私がハイドリヒ教に転化している。ええ、そうですよ。それの何がおかしい。彼は強く恐ろしく、そして不滅の輝きだ。我が望みを得るために、その力は絶対に必要なのです。切り離して考えることはできない。あなたも今、身をもって体験しているでしょう。この器、聖三杯がハイドリヒ教の玉体に他ならない。
He placed a hand on his chest, as if boasting about his faith in the Ahnenerbe. He confessed that the divine vessel was Reinhardt Heydrich's body.
私がこぼしてしまったのは、つまり器の希少さゆえに他ならない。脆く、 穴が開いた欠陥品であったからこそ救うべきものを救えなかったのだ。であればどうすればいい？将来の器が穴だらけなら別のものに変えるしかないでしょう。私が知る限り究極の最強の完全たる不滅の器、それに己が祈りを投影し転化し、私が彼になるという変身の渇望を具現化する。故に私は代行なのだ。ハイドリ秘境の影として、もう一人の黄金として、私流のディエスイレを執行するツビリンゲ。あの方もそんなことなど見透かされておられる。
Now I noticed I was messing up the title all the time. It's this irae, not this irae. Alright.
言ったでしょう、藤井さん。
He confessed that even his own body was not but borrowed goods. The divine vessel gazed down my powerless body.
私を超えられない程度のものにハイドリ秘境の相手など務まらない。彼にとって私など試験の課題に過ぎぬのでしょうよ。
An obstacle he intentionally set up for himself. It was preordained so that he would only descend to the mortal world once I or someone like myself would eliminate this man, his imitator.
ならばよし。私は永劫に難攻不落であり続ける。何度サラトゥストラが現れようと、その都度撃滅し続けましょう。楽しませよと言われたのだから、力の限り踊るまでです。どんな敵も策謀も偶然でさえ跳ねのける。不滅の私は壊れない。このバレリア・トリファを排除する事態が起きない限り、バルハラは流出しない。ねえ、だから私は壊れてなどいないでしょう。壊れてはいけないのですよ。理解に至ったようならば退場の時間です。さっきのセリフを返しましょうか。あなたは負けたのだ。己が弱さを転化したいならお好きなように。私は全てを飲み込む黄金の影だ。どうぞ遠慮なく私のせいにして恨めばいい。
He approached me, reaching his arm out, but just before he would grab my neck,
だからさ、
I sighed with exasperation.
あんたはさっきから勘違いしている。
I didn't call him a loser because he shifted blame to Reinhardt and his own inability to escape the bastard's grasp. That shit didn't matter.
あんたが転化しているのは、
I returned his gaze with a glare and spoke up.
昔救えなかったっていうどこかの誰かに対してだろうが。
Father Trifa's hands froze.
何？
違うのか違わないだろう。
Atoning, salvation, lack of choice. All he said about killing and resurrecting at infinitum.
全部初めの喪失にあんたは残らず転化している。自分は逃げないと言ったな。
In other words, deep down, running away was precisely what he wished.
いかにも苦行に耐えているって言わんばかりに、本当はやりたくないのにってアピールしながら、あんた何を笑ってんだよ。
Father Trifa always smiled. That may have been a mask, but what lay behind it was definitely not the face of suffering.
狂気してたぜ、素のあんたは。
I wouldn't let him deny that he was convulsing with laughter at the very same time he talked about the road of suffering.
本当は嬉しいんだろう。
He was likely so deep happy he couldn't take it.
その金メッキをかぶり続けられることが。
The orgasmic pleasure of being Reinhardt's substitute. Desire to change into gold. With that wish fulfilled, Christoph Lohan Green wanted to keep living in a dream.
そんな下水本音をごまかすために、あんたは救済なんて抜かしながら転化してるだけなんだよ。
黙れ。
His hand, which almost looked glued to the air, shook. His voice began trembling. For the shell that was the divine vessel was invincible, what lay behind it was imperfect. If what I was saying was actually getting to him, then like hell I'd shut up, dumbass.
あんたの中には自己愛しかない。黙れ!
He punched downwards, but I jumped to the side, evading the blow. I knew he'd beaten me up to hell and back, but while Father Trifa had ridiculously high defense, his attacks were nothing to write home about. It was true, I'd be in trouble if he kept on hitting me, but at least I could still stand if say, Kane or Wilhelm had hit me as many times as he did, I probably would have already been dead by now. Yeah. In other words, there most likely lay the divine vessel's weak point.
怒ったんなら本気出せよ神父さん。
Although it was a thoroughly risky bet, it was my only chance of winning. He boasted a unique style of perpetually maintaining himself in the Yetsirak state, and all the attacks earlier were probably the extent of his powers in his state. In short, he wielded a wool blade that couldn't kill me with dozens of attacks. But in exchange he had invincible armor that I couldn't put a single scratch on no matter how hard I tried. However, since the creation figment was the ultimate trump card, it would perhaps swap his attack and defense once activated. In exchange for an unparalleled sword, he would be stripped of armor. So I had to get him to draw that sword. It was the only way.
私の愛児たちに転嫁しながら破壊に酔っているだと。
だってそうだろ。
I pointed my finger at Father Trifa.
お前のそれがラインハルトの体なら。
The bastard's attribute was destruction.
お前がラインハルトになりたいんなら。
Then he too must have craved apocalypse.
認めろよ。あいつの真似事が楽しいんだろ。違う。じゃあ。
I got my finger to the other side of the room.
あの人を救おうってのは本当にあんたの愛かよ。
Yeah, I was pointing at none other than Hibura, who had been silently watching our fight all this time. She was not the kind to show emotion on her face, but that didn't mean she had no feelings. No regard at her father, figure with firm, resolute and trembling but unwavering eyes. Trying to figure out what the man who was trying to save her wanted. Could he really?
あんたは胸張って言えるのかよ。
Could he say for sure that the reason he was trying to prevent the castle from emanating was because he cared for Himura and wanted to protect her?
私は
Let's see what he will say. The towering frame of the priest wavered, his shoulders trembling and his imploring eyes fixed on Himura.
私はあなたを愛している。そうだ、愛しているのだ。間違いない。決してハイドリ秘境のアニマに引きずられているわけではないと証明するためにもこの儀式を。
じゃあ
Himura finally spoke up.
次の時はどうするの？
ええ？
あなたは繰り返すんでしょ？じゃあ次の増年金とは誰？私の子供？それとも孫？私を愛してくれるなら私の血を愛してはくれないの？ねえ、どうなの？聞かせて。
それを。
Father Shiva answered in a humming voice, stepping back as though trying to run away.
不完全な増年金とは必ずしも即死するわけではない。イザークがベルリン崩壊の後にも存命し、あなたへ通じる子を残したことからもそれは明白。いや、しかし。
Was everything truly that simple? Humorous question had made him realize fatal pitfall in his plan.
もしもあの少女が死んだらどうなる？いや、たとえ生きていてもここで藤井さんを殺してしまえば彼女は子など産もうとするまい。ヨハンの血脈はついえる。
Meaning the endless cycle he spoke of will never come to pass.
結局
I'd hesitated whether I should say it in front of Kimura, but in the end, she beat me to it herself. If Father Trifa killed me here and used Kasumi, one of the bloodlines would be end regardless. There was no way he would have overlooked something as simple as that.
あなたは私を死なせないという形が欲しかっただけなんだね。私の気持ちなんかまるで考慮していない。暴流が消えたら私に作らせるつもりなんでしょう。二人以上産ませて出来が悪い方を使う気なんだ。リザとは逆に。でもダメだよ。
She glanced at me, then continued.
藤井君を死なせたら私だって相手がいなくなっちゃうもの。ねえ、だから八方塞がりじゃない。
Kimura's voice was admonishing, her that pursued Trifa, sipping through every word. She was probably speaking to protect me and Kasumi, and above all, save Father Trifa. No matter his motives and methods, she couldn't bear to watch the man who was trying to protect her be consumed by madness. Thinking it was her last chance to change his mind, she earnestly urged him to give up. However,
なるほど。
with an ominous composure, Father Trifa spoke in the lowest of voices.
であれば、いい案がある。
What in the world was going on in his head?
というよりも、ここに至るまで思いもしなかったのが不思議なくらいだ。あなたに感謝しましょう、テレジア。やはり私は純粋にあなたのことを思っているのだ。
Uh-oh.
え？
Uh-oh. Swaying in auspiciousness, a pilling mask once his normal smile faded, a look of undiluted madness overcame Father Trifa's expression. It then hit me. I couldn't let him continue speaking.
先輩、逃げろ！
Trifa easily dodged my rush line and landed right next to the dumbfounded Himura. I immediately struck back and gave chase, but I was too late. Father Trifa had already opened his mouth.
やめろ！言うな！
Repulsive words crawled forth from his mouth. Cover your ears and don't listen to him. He's like a father to you, isn't he? His Columbus egg would shatter their very world.
私の愛が真実私のものであると証明するにはもはやそれしかありません。
Eh? My slash failed to reach him, and by the time it finished its hollow arc, he had already spoken the forbidden words.
私の子を産みなさい、テレジア。
Oh, for fuck's sake. And as he spoke.
親愛なる白鳥よ、この角笛とこの剣と指輪を彼に与えたまえ。
He drew his sword, while Trifa was confident of his victory, invigorated by the joy of being found released from the many years of anguish.
この角笛は危険に際して救いをもたらし、
What a retard.
この剣は恐怖の修羅場で勝利を与えるものなれど。
He loved the girl, he loved Regia, he wished to protect her. As a man once destroyed by the love of oneself, he would not take a step forward before proving that feeling was absolute. And that was what he would do. Since its earliest days, the Obsidian Round Table had one big mystery. Who in the world was the father of the first Sun-King, Isaac? Lisa had taken the secret to the grave, but considering the circumstances, a few things were clear. It had to have been him, no doubt about it.
この指輪はかつてお前を地獄と苦しみから救い出した。
And that was why Trifa had anguished. His love for Treasure was that of a father to a daughter, and as such was his interpretation. He had been unable to determine whether those feelings came from himself, his soul, or from him, his vessel. That no longer mattered.
この私のことをゴッドフリートが忍ぶよ姿となればいい。
If this lust was but a pollutant contaminating his flesh, then the act of incest should have been impossible. That was the swiftest, most reliable way of verifying the truth. Yeah, he did. He knew he was perfect. No flaw tainted his existence. He was not mad. Yes, he was. In his current state, he was still have to save everyone and everything. He was not shifting the blame on the loved children whose lives he had let slip through his fingers. Far from it. He was perfectly capable of loving people. He could see the same things they did, hear the same things they did, cry as they did, then smile as they did. So he wanted to drive his rival in love from stage right here and now. He knew full well that the said rival had been waiting for the moment a chink opened up in his armor, but his opponent had already lost, for he had underestimated just how incredible this sword was. No one who witnessed it lived to tell the tale. He had madly craved to be someone else. The spreading golden light and its shape was the spear of destiny that Reinhard Heydrich himself had wielded. The bout took but a moment, literally the blink of an eye.
見つけた。
After a long search, Kasumi had finally found someone capable of putting a stop to the priest. She had been so deeply focused on her task she hadn't perceived the conversation battle had unfolded below her. But it was not mere coincidence she had succeeded with that exact timing. Triff had momentarily unfastened the divine Vision's armor to summon the lance from the castle, and he saw swirling within it held just what Kasumi needed. She might not have been the legitimate Vizsla, but it was still only because she was the current Zone King that she had been able to pull this off. Truly a miracle that only Kasumi could have created. Is that so? Their voices reached him.
神父様。
The 10 flowers that the man had once chosen to be plucked as compensation for fleeing from his own shadow. Forever entrapped and swirling in the castle, they fired these very words at the man who had forsaken them.
泣かないで。
Oh. And he broke. How ridiculous!
泣いてなどいない。
If they had cursed his name, he could have accepted it. If they had told him to find, he would defeat even God. But what in the world was this?
哀れみだと。
No words could describe the emotions that bloomed in him at that moment. In a way, it was indignation. In a way, it was relief. They had to hate him. He had committed an unforgivable sin. He had to repent for the rest of eternity. He'd gone through those past 6 years under that one belief, that one assumption. He felt as though his motive for everything had shattered.
ならば私は何だ。
If he truly wasn't shifting the blame, if he truly wasn't using those poor children as excuse, then was he supposed to do his all of send the souls of his beloved children to heaven, rather than trying to become gold, overthrowing Reinhard Heydrich? Had he merely been running away from that choice? His hesitation, the waverings in his faith had been born from that. The Holy Lance ran forward, striking Ren. However, as dubs sprang forth in the user's craving to be the Gold's twin, the supposedly perfectly accurate and fatal spur had missed by a slight margin. For only Reinhard Heydrich could properly handle the most sacred weapons. All had gone amiss the moment his absolute devotion to becoming alternative gold was disrupted. The lance missed the core of Ren's soul. It pierced only one. The maiden of the Twilight was torn away from her vessel, but there was a slight moment of time before her soul completely returned to her world. The guillotine itself was still in perfect form. For its spiritual density had grown thinner, it hadn't disappeared. It was not in a state to seriously injure the Knights of the Obsidian Round Table any longer, but with his armor now abandoned, Trifa had bared a fatal weakness. As such, even though he put his entire soul into dodging it, the creep of hand stopped him.
もう逃げないんでしょ。
Say what? That action spelled the conclusion of the battle. You've got to be kidding me. My sense of self was collapsing. I was losing all sensation. I felt a scorching pain in my chest that tried to bake my very consciousness, but I could still tell my weapon had found its target. I had pierced Valor Triva. Once he shifted his powers from defense to attack, I had scared the supposedly indestructible Divine Weasel. But that was all I could tell.
Senpai.
Where was she? What happened to Mari? Was I still on my own feet? Answer me.
Kasumi.
Where are you? The moment my blade vanished, I lost the last of my senses. The black blade, piercing their bodies, turned into particles of light and vanished. But the two of them kept standing there without budging in the slightest, as though they were nestling up to each other, as though they were keeping the other form from running. Standing amidst the welling stench of blood, both of them broke out into self-mocking smiles.
どうして逃げなかったの？
Her grip held no power at all to this man. Shaking or knocking her away should have been as easy as breathing yet.
なぜ？
Trifa answered with a troubled face.
手をですね。握られると逆らえない。前に振りほどいて後悔したことがあったので。
そう。
They'd both been fatally wounded. There was very little difference in endurance between Ra, who was no stronger than a normal human, and Trifa, who had lost his armor. It was only natural that the holes in their chests were a tunnel leading straight to death.
ねえ、さっきのは本気？
But there was not a single hint of pain on Ra's face. There was the same, nor did it seem like he regretted his defeat.
私にあなたの子供を産めって。
さあ、どうなのでしょうかね。
Now that he thought about it, perhaps he had said that he had been in a state of mind or to Ray fairly mad nonsense after all.
想像するだけでなんだか気持ち悪いんだけど。
Yeah.
ええ、私もさすがにありえないと思いましたよ。我ながら。
He could never do something like that. They were family.
申し訳ない。どうもあなたたちが眩しくて、少し錯乱してしまったようだ。私の愛が私のものであると証明し、罪を償うならば一つしか選択はなかったのに。なぜ気づかなかったのだろう。なぜ目をそらしたのだろう。真に立ち向かうべきものは何なのか。わかりやすすぎるほど良然なのに。ああ、結局私はまた逃げたのだ。藤井さんの言う通りですよ。全くみっともない男ですね。あなたもこんな私に付き合うことなどなかったのに。
だって
What else was there for her to do?
また逃げないか見張っておかないといけないから。一緒に私が言ってあげる。今言ったこと口先だけじゃないんでしょ。
What he truly should have faced. They would soon be going to wear the true evil and truly demonic lay, the real perpetrators of all their woes. Their mass decreased as though they were being swallowed into the hole pierced through their chests. The gate that summoned the Holy Lands became a cavity that began to absorb them into the Devil's Castle. In that moment,
ごめんね、藤井君。綾瀬さん。
she ended up forcing them into painful rolls.
でも信じてるから。
She had faith the two would one day set them free.
私も戦う。
ええ、いつか、いつの日か。
They dreamed of a time where Reinhard-Heydrich and Karkraft, the two pillars of all things demonic and evil, could be defeated.
また会お
The two of them vanished as they nestled up to each other. And at the moment the chains beneath Kasumi popped off. She looked down as she fell, and right below her was...
Ren!
He was waiting for her there.
私、本当にどうしていいかわからなくて。
I didn't know what I should say to him either. To her either.
頑張ろうって思って頑張ったけど、私バカで、やっぱり全然頭悪くて。
Rather than everything quitting down like I'd hoped, things had come to this horrible close.
ごめんね。
I got too lost in myself and couldn't see anything happening around me, and by the time I finally came to, Ray was gone. And Marek had vanished.
私、なんでこんなにあんたの役に立たないんだろう。
I felt so pathetic. I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. And yet at every single moment I was...
レンが生きててよかった。
This love overrode all of my emotions of happiness. The warmth embracing my chest felt so real that I was shamelessly full of relief. I hated that side of me. I could forgive that side of me. But I didn't want to be part from Ren. That's what she's thinking, okay? That was the unbelievably, inexcusably, and unbearably selfish and dirty side of me. Why was I such a helplessly pathetic excuse for a person? I heard Ren's voice.
俺、お前に
I could feel him cling to and squeeze my shoulders.
聞いてほしいことがあるんだ。
It all proved we were alive. My heart almost burst from the love I felt for him. I didn't want to die, and I didn't want him to die. That's what she's thinking, okay? And we were alive, and the cost of a sacrifice far too great.
お前の親父さんのこと。
He could have said anything at the moment, and I wouldn't have given a damn.
どうしたの？俺なんだ。
知ってたよ。
Eh? I already knew, so please don't suffer anymore.
全部わかってるから。
Don't ask me for how long.
私、レンが好きだよ。
It didn't matter what my father had been, what he'd been thinking, or where Ren had come from.
私にとって、レンはレンなんだもん。ずっと一緒にいたいんだもん。
So let's go home, okay? Let's go back to our home.
そっか。俺、バカみたいだな。
そんなことない。
I was the fool. I was the one beyond help.
この先輩は。
Because.
先に帰っちゃったよ。当てられちゃうって。
Hey? No, she didn't. Yeah, maybe she would say that. That's true. I was the kind to tell flimsy lies that be exposed immediately.
マリーは、あの子、説明すると長くなるけど。
I'll listen to anything you want to say later,
お
so...
前は、どこも怪我してないよな。
大丈夫だよ。
So, please, Ren.
お前のことがすげえ好きだ。お前を救えて本当によかった。
そんな。
Don't try to act tough by talking like those are your last words.
言わないでよ。
Don't pass out on me.
切るよね。
Not the first time. You're gonna wake up, right? Yeah? Right? You're gonna leave me, right?
レンがいないと 頑張った意味がなくなっちゃうよ。
I've made a lot of mistakes and headed on things I wouldn't ever be able to make up for.
あんたが見ててくれないと、私。
I didn't what was I saying anymore.
一人にしないで。
I just started to black out, my arms still wrapped around Ren's neck. That's what she actually was doing, not me. Remember. Oh shit. The beating of the heart echoed across the now still chamber of the obsidian round table. It did not belong to a human. It was the quickenings of the devil's castle. Those swirling within it were laughing. What a first! How splendid! Indeed, it was amazing. Then what shall you do? What's the wish? We still draw breath? Will you continue this war, or will you give up on our defeat? Depending on your answer, the main event might still lay on the morrow. What shall you do? What will you do? Make your choice. And bless me with the light of the unforeseen. Number 1 of Obsidian Round Table. Booming, splitting laughter. The unit of over a million war demons looked down upon the tragic scene with a scornful smirk on its lips. It breathed love, licking out the tears of the tender soul in its jaws. It violated it. As she listened to the beating of the heart of the absolute evil they should have truly faced. Hey. Kay, who had seen the whole thing from start to finish, finally became aware of what it was she had to do. So, the curtains closed with a dry sound. Having successfully blocked the setting sun, Kasumi turned back to the dim hospital room.
ちょっと待っててね。電気つけるから。
What? And for a click, the room was filled with light.
ねえ。
Okay, don't tell me that freaking everything got restarted. Kasumi turned back to the center of the room. Ren was there. He was lying in the bed, sleeping with a peaceful look on his face. Kasumi shrugged in exasperation.
もういつまで眠りこけるつもりなんだろうね。あんたは。
She lightly poked Ren's cheek.
あんたね、このまま行ったら留年だよ。留年。かっこ悪いぞ。そうなったら私が先輩で、あんたが後輩になるんだ。そうだね。そうなったらあんた、私のこときちんと綾瀬先輩って呼ぶのよ。
Yeah, right.
そうしたらさ、毎日いびって先輩風吹かしてやんだから、覚悟なさい。今私が心配してる分まで、きっちり代価を払わせてやるんだから。
Kasumi laughed as she pinched Ren's warm cheeks.
変な顔。
But...
こいつはどうだ?
What if... He never wakes up. Noticing that her line of sight had grown blurry, Kasumi frantically wiped her eyes. She mustn't. If she cried, her heart would break, and if that happened, she would never smile again. The thought alone filled her with fear. She'd made up her mind to greet Ren with a smile when he woke up. So she'd never cry. She didn't want to cry.
ごめん、レン。もう時間だから、今日は帰るね。明日また来るから。
Kasumi stood up as though she was running away. She got her things when it came to a halt just before reaching the door.
ごめんね。
And left the room without looking back. Kasumi walked down the bright hallway, illuminated by white fluorescent lamps. She didn't even realize it was the time for sun to set already. She'd been spacing out for long periods of time lately. A single day felt like it was hardly a few hours long. She muttered his name to her own face reflected in the hallway. But at that moment, her very blood froze as she saw a familiar face reflected in the window. She wondered if she'd just mistaken the face for another, but it was as for her feet carried her to the phantom's direction on their own. For it was really her. She recalled the conversation at the amusement park. I will kill Fuji! If Shuri had just seen Kei Sakurai, then Ren's life was in danger. Kasumi chased after the silhouette as for it was beckoning her, as for she was being guided by an invisible force.
Sakurai-san!
Kasumi pursued her all the way to the roof. The door was open, past its frame was... Her eyes hadn't deceived her. Kei was there all by herself, almost as though she'd been waiting for her. It wasn't just running that made her mad, it was a premonition and the bad memories it stirred. Her voice was like ice. Kasumi momentarily forgot to breathe, for she'd expect as much. Hearing it firsthand made her realize the hopelessness of the situation. Ren was in a coma and couldn't move. Shiro was dead, and Eddie was gone. Oh, god damn it. In other words, there was no one left who could stop Kei now. Still Kei by herself? Indeed, Kasumi knew that was her only choice at this point. For she said so, Kei's face remained an expressionless mask. Not a single trace of emotion could be read of it. Only her tone and words were hurtlessly cold. She intended to kill Kasumi.
一人で生きていけっていきなり放り出されても困るよね。私は彼より優しいからそんなひどいことはしない。一緒に行かせてあげる。あなたの首を持って彼の病室に行くわ。殺す前に枕元で言ってやるの。ねえ藤井君、どんな気分？バカもほどほどにしろって言ったでしょって。それから聞かせてあげるのよ。綾瀬さんがどんな風に殺されたのか。藤井君にあなたの死に様を教えないといけないから、できるだけ頑張ってドラマチックに、私が泣いちゃうくらいあがいてよ。ねえ。剣道強いんだもんね。
Kasumi felt the chill and pressure squeeze her heart so strong it would have very well burst. Now that she thought about it, she'd never faced an earnest intent to kill head on. Rusuka just toyed with her while Tree treated her like a guest of honor. This was the first time anyone had just told her they would end her life. Fear sunk in sharp close into Kasumi's heart.
じゃあ、行くよ。
She only tapped Kasumi on the chest with the ever so light tap of a finger. However, unbelievably, that alone was enough to send Kasumi flying. Without any time to correct her posture to land safely, she tumbled across the roof. She couldn't breathe. A single tap of finger had delivered an impact equivalent to being smashed with a giant hammer. It defied common logic no matter what angle anyone spun it for.
これが彼の戦ってきた世界。
This was the pain he'd
これ
endured.
が彼の走った非日常。
This was the fear Ren had
痛
experienced.
いでしょ。怖いでしょ。よかったね、綾瀬さん。最後に藤井君と共有できたよ。満足でしょ。殺してあげるから、泣いて感謝しながら喜んでよ。
The impact had robbed her of her voice, but she had to retort, squeeze it out, and no matter what. I am. She raised her head, going straight ahead, and said it. She was lying. She was scared. He hurt so much she wanted to run away. She'd be damned if she gave her opponent even a single thing to rejoice. You shouldn't protect Ren right here right now. She unsheathed something as if showing up. It was a sword that defied Kasumi's understanding, yet one that she, as a Kendo student, was deeply familiar with. He drew her scarlet sword. The sword flash that passed right by her face almost destroyed the laundry poles behind Kasumi. The cut-off pole that fell at Kasumi's feet was about the size of a bamboo sword. And when she took it, her head would be flying through the air. Kei's killing that made Kasumi realize this was karma. She had indeed killed many innocent people. She was saying that no excuses could vindicate her of. So she tried with her stupid brain to figure out how to atone that. If hell really did exist, then she wanted it to be righteous, just like this. She had killed over 1,000 people, so her life too had to be put to mortal risk at the same amount of times. Because she wanted to live with Ren, because she loved him more than anything else. She knew there was indeed a wide gap between their strengths, but it seemed like Kei's style was not that of a traditional master but self-taught. She picked up the laundry pole, but Kei gave a slight smile as if she could see right through Kasumi. Hey. Kei thrust her own sword through her chest all the way to the hilt. Say what? It hurt, but... Completely bewildered by what had transpired, Kasumi caught Kei as she fell and began crying, her mind still unable to keep up with what had happened. Kei slowly opened her eyes as the tears fell on her cheeks. Kasumi had no idea what Kei was talking about. Because she hated those two, because they were so radiant and hurt. So she'd want to close her eyes. Kei thought it was probably because she was the strongest one of them all. Because everyone loved and wanted to protect her. Kasumi had been tone deaf in Kei's ears for... that had mostly been a one-sided conversation on Kasumi's part.
ちょっと喧嘩したぐらいでいきなり絶交とかすんなよ。
Little? She considered that little?
友達じゃないの？
Friends? Who? Kay? With Kasumi?
友達なんだ。違うとか言ったらぶん殴るよ。
Kay certainly want one of those in this state.
たとえあんたがどう思ってても全部演技だって言い張っても私は知ってるもん。知ってるんだから。何が？桜井さん楽しそうだった。
Shigeth?
クラブ
When?
でみんなと一緒にいたとき桜井さん楽しそうだった。
That wasn't true, was it?
カッコつけるな。気取ってばっかいるなバカ。わかるんだよ。見え見えなんだよ。盾に一般人代表ポジションじゃないんだから。あんたらみたいなひねくれたバカのことはよくわかってるの。見慣れてるの。ごまかしなんか聞かないんだよ。私ケイのことも好きだよ。
I asked.
行かないでよ。また喧嘩しよ
Yeah, maybe Kat had indeed been having fun for now, just now. Not like her crappy acting made for a genuinely tense scene. So it looked like Kasumi bought it anyway, so much so Kay had trouble suppressing a smile through the whole affair.
ねえ、どうして急にこんなこと。
Uh-oh, last swastika is there, right? The answer to that, in fact, was very simple. It was embarrassing, so she'd only say it once.
あなたみたいになりたかったから。
Hey? Exactly! Huh? Because she wanted to be strong like Kasumi.
意味が全然わからない。頭悪いのね。うるさいよ。
Kay was not much at all for the strength and courage Kasumi had faced her with. She had been scared, she couldn't fight, she just ran away from the one she was really supposed to face, or worse, limited herself to him. Huh. True. This was just her way of showing defiance. The only act of rebellion that the weak, stupid and pathetic woman like herself had managed to master in her life. Was Dr. Hedrick watching her? Was Karncraft laughing at her? Her dad would ensure that the swastika of Shambhala would go to waste. Now those monsters could never descend upon the city. With the death of Solon Kimtrimur, the divine vessel had fallen into the darkness. And for the finishing blow, Kay had invoked that fact his son. Kasumi might have been just an inferior imitation in her eyes, but to Kay, she was the brightest sun there was. She was so warm and gentle, those monsters could never conform to her light. Now Kay had shown the obsidian table. There were mongering monsters who had set their lives astray. Who was the boss? She had fired an arrow of retaliation and hit the target, despite being nothing but a bug in comparison as far as sheer power was concerned. No matter what awaited her after this, she refused to run away.
ざまあ見ろって。こっちの話よ。
It was better that Kasumi didn't know. True. Best that she remained blissfully ignorant and wrapped him up in her light. The foolish man who had killed her by sparing her, opening her eyes. It was at this moment Kay finally realized something ridiculous.
ねえ、もう一つだけ喧嘩できそうなことがあるよ。
Even Kay couldn't help but be surprised by it.
藤井君のこと好きになっちゃったみたい。
So, get mad, let's fight!
そう
Yet all Kasumi did was mankind.
見る目あるね
It smiled like she just gained the greatest friend there was.
叶わない。
She'd completely lost. The time had come for her to leave the stage. But right before she did, she fulfilled one last promise she'd made.
Sorry, Kasumi. My friend.
Sorry for any negative, a lesson even a child will understand. For all that said, she found it perfectly fitting for Kasumi.
さよなら。
Goodbye,
最
Kasumi.
初です最後の私の友達に
She was so glad.
会えてよかった。
And then the sun. This irae, Amantes, amentes.
夜空見上げ数えた
But did he wake up?
星数13の日
Or is he still sleeping?
綺麗な手と無邪気に笑った君私にとって当たり前の日常退屈な幸せだと
Well, I hope there will be something after credits.
気づかないふりをしてた
Well, because I want to have something that can't end like that nicely. There must be something. I hope. We'll see. Maybe. Anyway, that was great. I loved it. But it's not the end, of course. I mean, we have the other stories that were unlocked in the meantime. And 3 more routes to complete. Well, definitely. Well, I don't know yet. Will we go? Nah, well, I could cheat my way through it and just choose a path. And I think I wouldn't need to make any choices in the game. I think I will cheat my way and just look into the options and we'll go with all the paths. Somehow. Oh. Nice place. I like it. Ooh. The Devil's Castle shook. The beast on the throne narrowed his eyes, ascertaining the details of the situation. An august laugh escaped his lips. He was in a good mood from having obtained such a juicy soul. Splendid, Loneheart. A soul befitting of a champion indeed. You have earned your place alongside your loved ones within me. Irresistible affection filled the impregnable gold as he felt all the souls that fell in Shambhala be absorbed into the castle as the apes swastika opened. Indeed, they had lost this round. It was an impossible feat for him to exit through this narrow birth canal. And according to the principles of equivalent exchange, he had returned the soul the girl had sought. The soul of the man who was pierced by the Holy Lance, he would return the one who ended up sold in their world. After all, he had intended to do so from the beginning. The gold continued to laugh. Nothing had changed. He was still here. It mattered not to him if it was 6 years or 100 years. All he had to do was repeat the same thing. The Obsidian Round Table had not been annihilated. All of them merely shifted their plans. Actually shifted their planes here, somehow. Of existence it became spectral warriors of the Devil's Castle. Lisa, Beatrice, Spinne, Kane, Rusaka, Trifa, Wilhelm, as well as Rahimura and Kei Sakurai. All of them had melted into Reinhardt's world, into Welthal. This would not happen again. He would not be so soft next time. His warriors would be stronger and greater. He would show the world a new optional table, this time made up solely of the immortal Einherjar. It seemed there were several amongst Reinhardt's ranks who still wished to oppose him. But the beast merely closed its eyes, considering it mere amusement. Nothing had ended or changed. And as proof, both he and she were here. Therefore he would craft her a new necklace. He had not forgotten his vow. Yeah, he would not spare a moment for hesitation. He had already laid the groundwork for the next time. Neither of them knew a thing. In the end, this was not but a temporary obstacle. Once the gate to the Devil's Castle opened, it didn't matter who played the son. Just like Isaac, your children and grandchildren shall inherit the role of son and king. I so bless you. I so bless you. May you delude yourself in false victory and drown in love and relief. Congratulations, your affection is most exquisite. I wish the two of you well from the bottom of my heart. Oh, girl of unparalleled strength, if you wish to know what the hell is like to this extent, I shall show it to you before long. You cannot escape the castle after your death. That is what it means to be his own kid. You saved him with the soul of Shambhala. You understand, do not? That is but another sin most grave. As such, hell awaits you with open arms. Yea, as long as we are here, nothing shall change. I hope no one lifetime is enough to figure out our riddle. Can you save your children and grandchildren with that love? I wonder. Show us. Our curiosity knows no bounds. Creepy! Okay. The Devil's Castle rang and shook with mirth. The two devils laughed as the chaotic whirlpool of souls whirled around them. The two pillars of absolute evil remained perfectly intact. Nothing had changed. The Maiden of the Twilight slept on, immersed in an ephemeral memory of sunlight. Alright, so this is the end. Alright, that was great. I still don't know if I should go with the other stories first, right, over here. Or if we should actually... What's in extra? Finally! My goodness! I was waiting to unlock that stuff. You know, because, well, when I wanted to basically get some thumbnails for the videos, I could not enter here, and I could not easily get the pictures, and so on, so I basically had to browse the freaking screenshot gallery of the Steam to get what I wanted, and it took a while always. Anyway, or if not then actually, I had to, well, browse the internet galleries, CGs, websites, and that way I found out a bit about characters and what we can't see in Steam version, of course. There is a lot happening. Anyway, but well, that doesn't matter now. Alright, I will find out if we should go with other stories first. Over here, there are two, Werewolf and the Morgan Damerung. Well, we'll see about that. I feel like we might, or maybe we should go here. Well, we'll see about it later. Not today, probably. Yeah, not today. Well, maybe I will play it today, but you will see it the next day. I don't know yet. Okay, first of all, I need to find out other stories, or we continue with the freaking, I say freaking again, or we continue with the normal story over here, new game and so on. So, okay, Sakurai or Mari or Himura Root. Yes, okay. Or maybe, wait a second. Maybe I can follow it now. Okay, so show on this screen, okay. Alright, never mind. I just googled it quickly. Maybe we'll see something. Okay. Right, regardless, okay, stories. Alright, so werewolf. Alright, we will be getting with the other story werewolf over here. Right, right after what we've been through today. And apparently this and some other will be after someone else's route. I won't say which one. Okay, hope you enjoyed it, and let's finish it finally. See you in the next one. Bye bye.